Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon where you are. Welcome to our webinar, Teaching Hospitality with Technology. So I see, oh, perfect. Some of you already sent us a message. We appreciate that. So my name is Dr. Cihan Çobanoğlu, and I'm going to start our panel, webinar here. Let me share my screen with you. So here, perfect. I hope you can see the screen that I shared with you, but in a second, I'm going to ask you to do a quick housekeeping here. I don't know if you're connecting from a laptop or desktop or a mobile phone, all works, but you should have a control panel like this, and you should see us in there and the screen. So if you have, throughout this webinar, if you have any questions, please click on raise hand, or you can, I'm sorry, if you please click on raise hand right now, so that will give us an indication that you hear us. Oh, perfect, thank you. I see many of you raise the hand, you click on the raise hand, which is, again, an indication that you are hearing us. That is so good. If you have any questions or any comments throughout the webinar, there are two ways of doing it. One is the chat button that you can see here, right, on your app or the program, or you can click on question and answer. So either way, it's going to work. And we have approximately about an hour to do this webinar. And thank you again for those of you who are raising hand. So I'm going to raise my hand too. Katerina, maybe you will raise your hand too. So we all give high five to our attendees there. So, okay, I would like to go ahead and first introduce ourselves. Katerina and I will do that. My name is, as I told you, Dr. Cihan Çobanoğlu. I am the McKibben Endowed Chair Professor at the University of South Florida, Sarasota Manatee. Also, I serve as the Director of M3 Center and also the President of Association of North America Higher Education International. And I would like to also introduce Dr. Katerina Berezina from University of Mississippi. Katerina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Cihan. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Katerina Berezina. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Mississippi. I teach hospitality information technology. This is my main area of teaching and research, and I have been working with Dr. Cihan for a number of years developing programs for hospitality technology applications so that they can be integrated into the hospitality curriculum. Thank you so much for your interest in these programs, and we welcome all of you to this webinar.
Wonderful. Thank you, Katerina. This is great. So as Katerina has said, we have been working together with Katerina now almost, I think, 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, maybe. But this software also, we've been working with her for a long time. So I appreciate her great support and contribution to this. Just to understand where the audience is from, I would like to ask you a quick poll question. I'm going to start the poll. You should see a question in your screen right now. What's your main teaching area? Oh, I see that already people are clicking your main teaching area. I know that all of us are teaching different things in hospitality and tourism. Oh, we should have had tourism here too, I think. Maybe that would be the tourism there. But please let us know, 70% of the panelists, attendees have done it. That is great, I love it. And I'm gonna share the results with you in a second. I will give another 5 more seconds. If you did not have a chance, please click on one of the options there. This will give us an idea. Okay, that is perfect. Almost everybody have done it, 90%. A couple of people didn't do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and that will give us a good idea and the polling, and then I will share the results. So hopefully you see what I see here. 26% are from lodging, 7% the main teaching area is revenue management, 11% accounting, 7% hospital technology, and there is quite a few also from other areas. main areas. So
maybe those participants who answered other could send us a quick chat message to indicate which area they're teaching in, so that we can get an idea. We have quite a lot of people who answered other.
That's a good idea. You know, please use the chat button there in our message, and then we can monitor that, see what the other areas are. Okay, I see that some people are already tourism and hospitality management. Yes, tourism is one that we should have probably have written, and I see that there's some more people are writing. Oh, here, quite a few. Event management, critical thinking, hospitality management, marketing, tourism management, destination marketing. Wow. Food service, sustainability. Amazing. That's great. Perfect. We love it. HR. Somebody said HR. Accounting, but F&B management. Perfect. Perfect. Food service operations, meetings management. So maybe we should add event also too. Thank you for that feedback. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what we are going to do today. Katerina and I are going to present you 3 different software solutions. And I will talk to you a little bit about ANAHE, the Association of North America Education International. That is a not-for-profit organization that I have the pleasure and honor to serve as the president. ANAHE.org is the website. It's a not-for-profit organization that has working with M3 Center at the University of South Florida, Sarasota Manatee, hand by hand. So please consider being a member if you are not a member already. There are quite a few webinars similar to this one, although that's more general academia related, not just hospitality. But please, I invite you to be a member if not, you are not already. M3 Center for Hospitality and Technology Innovation is the center at the USFSM. I again serve as the director. Katerina actually was part of our faculty until early this year, but she moved to University of Mississippi. So she was part of this center, and as you can see today, still we are working together, and I'm very grateful for that one. This is just a quick introduction, but I will then share philosophy of teaching with technology, our philosophy together for the last, at least for me, 20 years, and for Katerina maybe 10 years. And then we are going to I will talk about InnRoad, then I'm going to turn the floor to Katerina. She's going to talk about operations management software, which is business intelligence software, and also accounting core software. So I am going to also monitor I see that there are like some more chat. Oh, you are right. Okay, perfect. That's wonderful. And then, okay, let's go start with the philosophy of teaching with technology. So I always say this to people that when I teach, you know, sometimes as educators, we discuss the philosophy, teaching, right? Pedagogy. How do you transfer knowledge to the students? And from early on, I decided to take technology as my research area. It also happened to be my teaching area mainly as well. And then that was like all these software applications like Fidelio. Some of you may have heard or used it even in some of the hotels, Micros and all that stuff. And at that time, we wanted to come up with a better way of teaching technology. So some people have told me that, Jihan, there is no reason to teach technology in a class. You just need to give them the theory, the concepts. Technology changes very quickly. They're going to learn this anyway when they go into the workplaces. At a hotel, maybe Hilton is using a different property management system, check-in, check-out software than a Marriott, than to another hotel, whatever that might be. My philosophy is this. Yes, hotels, restaurants do use different software, but the philosophy is akin, similar to this analogy that you see on the screen. Let's say that a kid, somebody who's 16 years old, or in other countries 18, doesn't know how to drive a car. So you will teach him or her how to drive a car, let's say with the car on the left, with Ford Focus. So if you tell, okay, this is the wheel, this is the gear, this is the gas pedal, this is the brake, this is the windshield. You teach all of those things to that person, and that person gets practice. And then they graduate, right? This is what we do in the school. So we teach them InnRoad, for example, or M3 software. Then they graduate, they go into a different company, and then they got this Toyota on the right-hand side on my screen. Then will driving Toyota take as much as the time that when driving first time? The answer is most likely no. Maybe in Toyota, the windshield is not on the right, but it's on the left. Maybe you turn on the headlights from here instead of there. But the idea is very similar. So it will take much quicker time for them to learn to drive a different car than learning it from the beginning. So that's the idea. Plus, I believe, and Katerina believes also too, that when you use technology, A, the class gets a little bit less boring. Students love doing it. B, let's say that you're talking about CRM, customer relationship management, as a theory. You say that this is how we use the information from the guest to customize their experience. And you can show that in InnRoad. There is a guest profile button. You will say, do you guys remember we talked about the CRM? This is how we can save all the preferences of the guest when they come into the future to our hotel or part of our hotel in the chain, that we can actually customize their experience. So this is just our technology. You know, I fortunately forgot to add this audience poll, but I would love to ask you at this time, maybe you can write on the chat box here, if anybody have used a real hospitality software in your courses before. And please tell us if you did, you loved it, you didn't like it, or challenging, whatever that might be. I'm gonna check the chat box there. Gina is telling yes, and I love it, that's wonderful. Gina is using some of our software for some time as well. Some of you did not use, which is perfectly fine, that's why you are here. And some of you are saying that yes, I used it, but it was challenging. And some of you say Fidelio as an example, Opera, that's wonderful, that's great. Some of you did, but somebody used Micros. Oh, that's wonderful, this is great. I love that, you know, this is not too bad actually, that interaction there. Okay, those of you who have not used, then don't worry, this is your solution here. One of you actually said that no, and I tried to connect with Micros, but it took too long. Yes, they are a big corporation, it's gonna be difficult. As a matter of fact, I used Micros for some time when I was at University of Delaware, but that was challenging also too. So this is easy, you will see now. Okay, let's get to our first software. Again, I'm gonna continue, and after InnRoad is over, and this is perfect timing, we budgeted about 10-15 minutes for the introduction and another 15 for InnRoad, and then Katerina will take over the next two software. Okay, what is InnRoad? InnRoad is like Fidelio. InnRoad is actually a web-based property management system. As I told you that I am teaching technology in hospitality curriculum for almost 15-20 years now. I'm getting old. So in this ways that in the beginning, like I use Fidelio, I use some other software, I've tried everything, but in those years, these were client and server based models, where that means that you had to have a lab and install this software. In many cases, it was very expensive and also very labor intensive. You have to have the lab people, IT people. So I was looking for a solution for a web-based, simple, to go on the go, something quick. And I found InnRoad. InnRoad is a company. It has nothing to do with us in terms of the ownership of the company. Neither Katerina or I own or have shares or anything. InnRoad is a company based in New York, Manhattan, in New York City. And it's a quite old software. I think we are using it for 12 years. It's cloud-based. No installation is needed whatsoever for any of this one. And all you need is an internet access and a browser. And I believe that it has been in use more than 1,000 hotels around the world. It is a robust software, and I will talk to you about that. I'm going to show you actually quickly in a second. it allows students to experience the real hotel system. So let's assume that at the end of this webinar, we convinced you to adopt InnRoad or M3 software, that you will say that, you know, I want to use it. What we are going to do is that we're going to create a real hotel system in InnRoad. And the same thing for the other ones as well. It's the full working edition. Sometimes some companies have student versions, and then it's like lighter versions, but this one is whatever the hotelier gets, you are going to get also. And it comes with exercises, assignments, and PDF tutorials. Since we are, Katerina and I, are both educators, we know how long it can take for you to develop curriculum when you want to integrate a technology into it. So what we have done is that we did everything for you. It's turnkey. So I'm going to show that to you in a second. It comes, like, the website will come with all the exercises. We have, I think, 9 exercises right now, maybe more, and we are developing more. As we go, we are adding, changing, making things better. And we also have PDF tutorials. So this software, all of them, can be integrated into a live class, a hybrid class, or it can be integrated into a online class. We have used all of them, Katerina and I, and more than 10,000 students have used this system so far. And Katerina knows these statistics better. Maybe, I don't know how many professors, but the satisfaction rate is quite high. And some of the people who are attending this webinar here are actually users of InnRoad already, which they come back over all the time. Students also love it too. They really like it because it's the real software and they can relate. Also, they can put this in their CV as a PMS system, which is really a good, nice thing for them to put instead of just Word, PowerPoint, Excel. Everybody knows them. But having an experience with InnRoad, which is a property management system, check-in, check-out system, really adds value. It's free to the instructor. There's a small cost to the students. It's just like textbook. The way that we handle this, if you adopt InnRoad, in your syllabus, you are going to put your textbook, whatever. Hopefully that textbook is the textbook Hospitality Information Technology. Katerina and I are both co-authors. I hope yes, but again, if not, that's okay, no problem. There are many other great textbooks that are available there. And then underneath of the textbook, you will say required software, InnRoad, and they will come to our website, which I'm going to show you in a second, and they will be able to just buy online. If your university pays for it, some universities do that, they pay for their students. We also work with that particular model as well. The other 2 software that we are going to show later in the webinar are free of charge to the instructor and students. But this is how it works. Easy adoption, exercises, assignments, instructions. I will again demonstrate that in a second. As I mentioned earlier, face-to-face, online, or hybrid, it works for all models. The way that we designed it is self-explanatory. So the student can go watch the tutorial, look at the tutorial PDF. We used to have a video, but videos are not preferred by students. So we have PDFs because they can print or put on one side of the screen. They can follow from there. What kind of classes can you use InnRoad? Anything that makes sense. For example, lodging management. We have a lot of professors who are teaching lodging management and also using InnRoad because that's a great kind of like a supporting of all the concepts that they are talking in their classes. Front office management, some universities have this as their curriculum. IT, hospitality information technology, tourism information technology, or introduction to hospitality. Again, some of the concepts are wonderful to kind of like go over with this software because it really clicks that. And how you can adopt is very simple. You can send an email to Katerina at katerinaberezina.com. She's waving there. And then the website is right here. So I'm gonna take you there. We will give this contact information later, but feel free to also email me if you would like to. So I don't know, it's, the PowerPoint, I guess it's trying to, so I'm gonna just quit this PowerPoint. Oh, here we go. It's coming. So there are 2 different websites that we use in this software. One is InnRoad University, which is the curriculum website. So this is where the students actually can go here and find out what they need to do and how they need to do it. This is not where they do it. This is where they do it is the website InnRoad, which is the actual website of the software. As you can see here, this is where you can just get information about this particular software there. But here for instructors, we have learning objectives for you. If you would like to insert this into your syllabus, some schools require that. You can see here 9 different assignments, and every single of them has this. And okay, somebody said I use a different type of front office program. That's perfectly fine. I know there are quite a few, maybe more than 100 PMS systems around the world. So this one is, again, we like it because it's web-based and it is very easy to use. Syllabus add-on, as I told you, that this is what you can just make a brief introduction. You can just say InnRoad. You can add this one to your syllabus and the students do it. They buy it, and then, or if you want a little bit longer description, you can also put this one. Okay, back to this area, and then here's what the students are going to do. They are going to click 2 different things. These exercises and assignments are duplicate. They are the same, but of course they are different, but they are the same concepts. The reason why we have done it, because we wanted you to assign these assignments to students. And if you are teaching online or you don't have any room in your class to go over InnRoad face-to-face, then you can just simply tell them, students, to do assignment number 1, go and look at assignment exercise number 1. Exercise number 3 outlines assignment number 3. So let's just quickly click on one of them to see what it looks like. So for example, as you can see from the title of this PDF, this is an intermediate reservation assignment, or exercises in this case. But this is step by step, explains to the student. So the students obviously, once you adopt it, we are going to set up the system for you. Every single student will have a unique username and password. And look, this is a very realistic scenario. Of course, this is an intermediate reservation, therefore it's simple. It's not very high level yet, but it's going there, right? We have 9 different assignments. It builds up. So you can start from 1, 2, 3, or if you don't have that much room, sometimes people teach short courses like 4 weeks or 3 weeks. You can actually pick and choose. You can choose 1 and 4 and 6. It may take students a little bit more time to prepare, but you can also do that. So here's the scenario. In this case that we have Jerry Daspon called the hotel, wants to make a reservation. All the details here, you will see a credit card. This is the only portion of the system that is not connected to a real credit card merchant system. So obviously this is a fake credit card, and we don't want students to use a real credit card, but they can use this one. It will work. It's not going to go in there. Also, this InnRoad is not connected to OTAs, online travel agencies. These are the 2 things that are not different than from the real world, but you can understand why. So here's the step-by-step process. Go to InnRoad, figure 1, do this, do that, put your username, click here, click there, click this. Wonderful. Again, students love it. It is a process. To be honest with you, majority of them do not even look at this because software is intuitive. And I'm going to show you the software in a second. There is all different. There is even group reservation, travel agency reservation. This is the advanced reservation. So part 1 and 2, because it's a little bit bigger. But it happens in these examples, anything that can happen. We are actually having the guest go to the restaurant, and while he or she's being served, the server spills the food, and then they will get a credit. They cancel this, that, all that stuff is actually happening. So let me go quickly. I've got about 5 minutes left for my part. I'm going to show you how, let me see, where is my, here you go. I'm gonna go to, oh, it's right here. Okay, I logged in before, and then you will have a username and password. There will be a client code. Client code is your university name. So we can make that client code is anything that you want. And then once you actually get into the system, it looks like any other PMS system, property management system. As you can see, I have the reservations here, accounts, guest services, inventory, night audit reports, etc. All of them. This is the how you can change it. Obviously, we don't have time here to show you all the features of the software, but what we can do once you decide to adopt, if you have an interest, we will be happy to do a kind of like a training session with you. We can set that up. It takes usually about an hour. We have also videos that we have recorded. We can send them to you if the time zones seems to be an issue, but most of the time it is not. And Katerina and I are happy to do that. Just let us know if you are interested after this session is over. Okay. Again, few minutes left. Let me just show you how this software works. When you come in here, as you can see, I am logged in into this particular hotel, which we call University Hotel. And it will be like this. It will be the University Hotel. So let's say that you're telling, as you can see, our students are using all these different reservations here. And some of them are very recent, and they are doing the exercise. Remember, it was the Jerry Daspin here, so some of the students are doing. So while this is happening here, let me just tell you how you can actually identify these people, because if you have 30 students in your class and they are all making Jerry Daspin reservation, you're going to have 30 Jerry Daspins. The way that I handle it, I ask the students to either put after the last name underscore their student ID or their last name. This way, when you are evaluating this, you can evaluate from here. By the way, the students, okay, let me just go very quickly show you, for example, let's say that we would like to make a reservation. So one of the first things to do is to check if I have any room available in my hotel. I just click on new code here and I put the date, and I see that all of the rooms that I have available, right? 100 rooms in this, and my room classes are here, and here's my rates that are here. So you as the faculty member, if you want to make changes here, you can make it. So I'm gonna go into the reservations to start a new reservation to demonstrate to you what I have just told. It works, all of them is from the web-based. Usually it's very robust, very quick, and then I will come here and look, remember I just mentioned to you CRM, this is the CRM portion of the software. If you click this, it will actually require quite a different, like all the ones that are red are actually the required buttons. For the sake of this example, I'm going to create one quick. So let's say John Carper is the name of the guest that we are going to do. Remember what I was telling you earlier, how you're going to differentiate 30 students doing the same reservation. You can ask them to put their last name or student ID over here. So you can put the address here. So I'm going to, okay, I don't even know where this place is, but it just came up. So I'm going to do it. And then, of course, I can put a credit card to guarantee the reservation. So I use 4 4s, 4 3s, and 4 1s, 16 digit, and I'm going to say 0420 here as my date. And also you can take some notes here. You can add fruit basket and all the other stuff. We are going to actually select some of the things here, the rates of the rec rate, for example, that could be good. And then I'm going to click on my date for this reservation. So let's assume, of course, for us to check in the software, I have to use today, and I'm going to search one person. You can do multiple, but I'm going to give this person, single person, a single room. Let's see what's available. All of these rooms are available. During the reservation, picking one room is not important. It's just for making reservation purposes, and that is it. So I'm going to click on save. If I miss something, it's going to actually tell me that if I miss something. Look at here on the top right corner, I have the reservation number here. And the students actually can print this. So remember about assignments, right? Let's say that you give this as an assignment. How can the student return back this to you? They can print it, give you hard copy. They can click on email, get the PDF copy that they can do from here. And then this way they can submit this to you in your learning management system like Canvas, Blackboard, Sakai, whatever that you have. Or, you know, they don't have to do anything. They just simply do it and then leave it in the system. You as a professor can go in and you will be able to see everything. And then check-in is easy. When the time for check-in comes, I can just click on here and I know everything. I can, let's say the guest came in, I can just confirm that the guest, usually this is the guest registration card here. So in the real hotel, you can tell the students that they need to circle the rate and they need to circle the date and ask the guest to initial so that they can confirm. And if they confirm, you will click on confirm and the check-in is that simple. That's it. The guest has already checked in into the system. My folio is here and you can add charges here. Again, for the sake of time, I'm not going to go in those details now. Once you are interested, if you're interested in this, but it is an amazing software. So I am back here, so I can put car pair. Let's say you are grading the assignment. You just put the last name. You will be able to see here, right here. It is shows this is Çobanoglu, so I can immediately go and make changes. I mean, give the grade to Çobanoglu. So I think this is where I left at the time. I'm going to turn now the screen to Katerina to take you to also to Operations Management M3. Let me see if there is a question here. Okay. Perfect.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cihan. I have been monitoring the questions, and now as I'm taking over the presentation, Dr. Cihan will help to answer all of the questions that you have in the presentation. So as we are switching gears, I wanted to also mention that for the InnRoad program, we provide the answer keys, and they will look like those PDF files that Dr. Cihan just demonstrated, such as the guest registration card. And at the end of the process, students will receive a guest statement. So that's when the guest checks out and you can see all of the charges and balance on the folio. So for the professor work, we try to make it as easy as possible by providing you with answer keys and highlighting the areas that you would want to check in student assignments. So with that, let me take you to the next software that we would like to present, which is the M3 software. So in the M3 package, we have several programs. So one of them is M3 Operations Management, and another one is M3 Accounting Core. So first of all, I would like to start with M3 Operations Management. And for the Operations Management, those of you who have already used the program, you could have heard of it being called M3 Link, and that's the former name of the same program. So the M3 Link, or M3 Operations Management, as it's called now, is the operations management software that helps to track the performance of hotels. What this software does, it seamlessly reports data from several hotel systems, such as property management system, Smith Travel Research, guest satisfaction, and financial data in one dashboard. So similarly to InnRoad, a university program was developed for this particular software to be integrated into the hospitality curriculum. The main idea of this program is that it includes a database of 13 different hotels, and all of them are real-life properties. When you and your students work with this program, you will see information about metrics like ADR, occupancy, RevPAR, revenues, financial data, guest satisfaction scores, and many others. So it generates numerous reports that, unfortunately, in the scope of this webinar, we will not be able to demonstrate all of them, but we would like to show you some of the capabilities that the system presents and let you think about how you may use it in your courses. Again, similar to InnRoad, it grants full access to students to practice their analytical business skills. When we try to compare M3 operations management to InnRoad, for example, it's less hands-on, but it's more analytical in nature. So as Dr. Jihan demonstrated InnRoad, you saw that the students actively interact with the system and they create their own reservations and guest profiles, and they can post charges, check the guests in and out. So in M3 operations management, we could say that it's more of a next level type of an exercise for the students, where they would actually look at the data reported by hotels and try to analyze the performance, compare different strategies, and practice their analytical skills in other ways. So again, the system works in a very similar way to InnRoad, that we provide assignments and we provide instructions. You can see that on this particular step, I don't mention any exercises for M3 operations management. And the reason for that is that the program is more analytical in nature. So with InnRoad, for example, you can do the reservations over and over and over again, because, for example, when someone works at the front desk, it's important for them to become efficient and quick and process the reservations and check-ins as soon as possible. So, however, when it comes to thinking, that would be a little bit strange to ask a student, for example, to think about the drawbacks of evaluating hotel performance based on ADR only, and then to ask them to think about the same thing again. So from that perspective, M3 Operations Management Program, or M3 Link University Program, how we also call it, it's based on assignments and then instructions, just to help students to navigate through the system. However, we don't require them to perform the same type of an activity over and over again. So again, the program is suitable for both face-to-face and online courses, and I personally have been using both InnRoad and M3 operations management in my classes when I teach face-to-face and online, and I will be happy to share my experience with those who are interested. And the program really has a lot of functions and a lot of different reports, and looks at different areas of hotel operations, so that it's suitable for the use in different courses such as lodging management and revenue management. Some of you mentioned that as your teaching areas. Then also information technology and maybe business intelligence, some schools offer that. But in addition to that, many of you mentioned that you teach hospitality management, or for example, critical thinking, strategic management, marketing. This program will have applications to professors to implement it in their courses. So with that, I wanted to give you a quick overview of what M3 Operations Management can offer and how it looks like. So when you look at this screen, this is a screenshot from M3 Operations Management, and you can see that at this point it looks like a large spreadsheet. So in this particular area, you will see that there are 13 different hotels reporting in the system, and that gives students an opportunity to evaluate the performance of not only single property and look at it, for example, historically, but also to compare different hotels and see how they are doing, and engage in those types of exercises. So all of the hotels that you see here are real-life properties. The only type of information that is masked in this system is the location of the hotel. So for example, when you see here a Courtyard Chicago, so you can be sure that it's a Courtyard located somewhere in the United States, but it's not in Chicago. And this is the only piece of information that is well, hidden or changed in the system, and that was done from the perspective of protecting the financial and proprietary information of those properties. So then you will also see that this particular report, this is a daily flash report, it offers a variety of metrics. So those that we usually use for evaluation of hotels' performance, such as the occupancy, ADR, RevPAR, and comparison of those numbers to the budget. Also, you can see the breakdown of different types of revenues, such as, for example, room revenue, food revenue, beverage revenue, and other revenue. So for those of you who are focusing on food and beverage operations, again, you can use this particular system, even though it's more, it's a hotel system, right? But hotels have food and beverage outlets. So the next report, which is called Food and Beverage Flash Report, presents a quick snapshot of different food and beverage metrics for all of these hotels that are included in the database. So you can see here, again, the number of rooms rented, then the breakdown for food and beverage sales and beverage sales, and you can also see the metrics calculated per occupied room. In addition to that, you can see the drop-down menus next to some indicators, and those are the functions that's called drill down in M3. So if we try to drill down, you may receive additional details or more insights into the data that we are looking at. So for example, if I click on the drill down functions for food revenue, then you will see the same metrics for food revenue that we just saw on the previous slide, plus additional breakdown for the type of revenue sources that comes into food and beverage outlets, such as breakfast, lunch, dinner, banquet food, banquet beverage, and so on. So those are the types of numbers that students will be exposed in the system, and then they compare the numbers across different hotels, so they can also look at the trend historically. In addition to that, you will see that one of the aspects that M3 Operations Management integrates right now is the guest satisfaction scores. So some of the reports, including food and beverage, may come with the guest satisfaction score metrics that will also help students to think about the financial performance of the outlet, whether that would be the rooms department or the food and beverage department, plus the guest satisfaction together. So the next item that I wanted to show you are the bubble graphs. So that's an interesting type of a graph that is available in M3 Operations Management. And you can see that that's a big picture view of the performance of different hotels. So for example, on this graph, we see ADR plotted on x-axis and then occupancy located on y-axis, and all of the bubbles that you see right now on the screen are different hotel brands. So for example, when I was showing previous reports, you saw that there were courtyards, and then there are other properties that are usually branded with Marriott or Hilton. So all of these bubbles would be different brands, such as, for example, Town Place and Residence Inn. So this particular graph quickly shows you the position of all the different brands in your portfolio in relation to each other based on their ADR and occupancy. So, and to show you all of the potential of the system, I wanted to present you with an overview of the menu that is built into the system. So the first option here is to run operating statistics report. And that's what we have seen with, for example, daily flash report and also food and beverage flash report are available under operating statistics. Then there are also financial reports. There are guest satisfaction scores, as I mentioned earlier, which is a very interesting component of the system, because you can see the scores that are given by customers to particular areas of hotel performance, such as value, cleanliness, internet, upkeep, intention to return, problem experienced, as a numeric information. Plus, in addition to that, the reports and this section also has the verbatim of all of these comments that guests provide to the hotels. So for those of you who are interested in working with guest feedback data, this system also presents an opportunity for students to actually read the guest feedback and see the comments and try to explain the numbers that they see on the reports and maybe develop the suggestions for how this particular hotel can be improved. Then there is also competitive set data, and this data will come from Smith Travel Research. So the competitive set reports will include data related to, for example, indices that STR reports usually present, such as ADR, index, occupancy index, RevPAR. And then there is also analytics section, so the bubble graph example is coming from there. So this is just a quick overview of what M3 operations management can offer. You can see that there is a variety of opportunities for integration into different courses based on what content you actually teach in those classes. So then if you would like to adopt the program, then it will be also very easy to do. Just like with other programs, you will need to only send me an email and express your interest in adopting this particular program. And then again, similarly to InnRoad, we can follow up with a one-to-one training session online, or if you feel comfortable exploring the program on your own, you can do that. So also, in addition to the presentation that we have here, there is a website, which is m3linkuniversity.com, where you can go to actually explore the resources that we have available. So, for example, if I click on the web link, you will see that we will be taken to the website, where, for example, you will see the structure is very similar to the website of InnRoad that Dr. Jihan demonstrated earlier, where you would have a section for students with assignments, for example, and you can see that assignments are targeting different areas of knowledge, such as hotel revenue metrics, beverage metrics.
Maybe you can zoom the screen a little bit. It's a little bit too
Yes, absolutely, I can do that. Thank you for your comment. So, yes, and then competitive set analysis, forecasting and displacement and overbooking. And again, with this system, we welcome any suggestions and needs of your particular class. If you want to develop additional exercises, I will be happy to work with you, because I developed this system with revenue management inside, and you can see that the assignments are suitable to those courses. However, if you have other ideas, we will be very happy to work on them as well. So, and then if we don't have any questions related to this software, I'm going to move to the accounting core, which is another program from M3. Again, both M3 packages, M3 university programs, are free to use by professors and students. And this particular system focuses on accounting knowledge, and just like any other program that we presented today, it's a web-based, cloud-based hospitality accounting software. It's one of the first web-based programs in hospitality for accounting. And we present the university program that works in a very similar way to all other programs that we discussed today. And in this case, every student will be given a property. So you can see on this particular slide that there is a property 1, and every student will be responsible for that property and all accounting functions and exercises that they are performing. So if you think of a professor view, then as a professor in the class, you will have access to multiple properties. So let's say you have 20 students in the class, then you will see 20 hotel properties and everything that your students are doing in those properties. So then the system is very easy to use. So it supports all known operating systems, all known browsers, and it's very easy to run. Only on the first login, you will be required to install Citrix, a small software add-on to your browser that allows M3 accounting core to run. So, and then again, the system follows exactly the same idea that students will actually perform functions of the accounting department that usually would be taking place at a hotel. So, for example, they will be working with invoice entries, journal entries, and as they go through the program of M3 Accounting Core, at the end, through the entries that they have done at the hotel previously throughout the system, they will be able to generate their own balance sheet and also an income statement. So the accounting program is a little bit more structured in a way that it makes sense to go through all of the exercises and assign all of them to students so that you could also follow the answer keys that we provide. So if some of the assignments are taken out of the sequence, then of course the total numbers and the balances will be different. However, it's still not a problem, and you can work with modifying the system as well. So just like in any other case, if you have any questions or would like to adopt this software, please let me know. And we also have a website for this software, which will be m3university.com, where you can go to explore all of the assignments that we have. And as you become familiar with the websites that we put together, you will see that they are actually structured in a very similar fashion, so that it would be easier for you to navigate between these websites. So, for example, M3 University program, you will see that has also a section for instructors, where you see the syllabus add-in, just like with InnRoad, and then the for students section, where we would have the step-by-step instructions and assignments as well. So this is a quick overview for all of the systems, and we will be happy to answer any questions that you have at this point.
Katerina, can I answer some of the questions?
Yes, please.
Some people have been submitting these questions as you speak, and I took them. So, okay, somebody said that, is it free? Yes, it is free. The textbook available for this M3 account, I guess they're asking, so whatever is on the website, m3accountinguniversity.com, m3linkuniversity.com, and InnRoaduniversity.com, all those PDFs, which is not a textbook, but Katerina and I actually are thinking about turning that into a textbook, look like a format, which some students may prefer. But those are all free of charge. So again, one person asked if there is any textbook that goes with these software applications. The answer is there is not a particular one. For InnRoad, again, as I told you, Katerina and I prefer that you use our book, but you don't have to, any kind of book. For the M3 Operations Management, any kind of capstone course, I think if you're using a textbook, it can go with it. For accounting, we use Professor Schmidtgal's textbook to kind of like go over the chapters.
Follow the logic.
Yes, the logic align. But again, there is not a particular textbook that we require that you use. You can use whatever you want. And a lot of people ask if M3 Operations Management and also AccKnowledge are free of charge. Yes, they are free of charge. And I'll tell you why. You can say like, why is that? Isn't there a cost? There is a cost to run this program. As a matter of fact, Katerina and I spending a lot of time on this, just like this webinar, we do one-to-one training sessions. There's a lot of cost, and we have a graduate student who helps us to set up everything, because every student that you have needs to be set up in the system. That takes time. But the M3 portion of the software is being subsidized, sponsored by the M3 Center, which is created by the Mr. John McKibben, who owns M3 Company and McKibben Hotel Company. Thanks to him here one more time for providing this funding to us, to University of South Florida, which then enables us to give these two software solutions to you free of charge. Some people asked earlier that if we are recording this session. Yes, we are recording, and we will make it available to all of you soon. Very, very soon. You'll be able to please not only send this to your friends, to whoever, and Katerina brought the email address one more time on the screen. Please tell your colleagues. Let's say you have a colleague in the accounting, but you are not teaching accounting. Tell them, hey, look, I heard about this software we'd like to use. Take a look. And then ask them to contact either me or Katerina, and we'll be happy to help them to get, send them this recording. We will send you the, by the way, the link. Please feel free to share this. The more, the better. Our goal is to serve the students, make the education better, more efficient and less boring for the students, because, everybody's talking about PowerPoint poisoning, right? So this really takes you away from the PowerPoint poisoning that allows us to do something. If you have any more questions, we've got 5 minutes left. I'm gonna ask Katerina. Do you have anything else, Katerina, you wanna add at this point? Well,
no, I think we provided a thorough overview for all programs, and that would be just looking at the program, looking at the curriculum. As Dr. Jihan mentioned, we have all exercises and assignments available on the website, so they are not password protected and you don't have to make a decision right away. So also, if you're interested in exploring the systems, please send me an email so that I can create a demo account for you, and then probably that will give you a better idea whether or not the program is a fit to your class. So we can start by doing that so that you can explore the system on your own and also look at the exercises so that you as a faculty member will actually experience what your students will experience. And that will probably be the best approach to trying to get started with these programs. And just like with InnRoad, as I mentioned earlier, for other programs, we will also provide answer keys so that your grading will be a little bit easier. So with M3 Operations Management, the answers are not that straightforward, because the students are presented with data patterns and they need to analyze it. So of course, every student will perform the analysis and express it in their own words, and also based on the content of your specific course. So you as a professor would be the best person to judge the quality of those resources and responses. However, what we can provide is to give you the answer keys with those data patterns that students see. So again, you as a professor look at the data pattern that student observed and then decide whether or not the response was on target.
Thank you, Katerina. This is great additions. I just want to also, in the last 2 minutes that we have left, somebody asked another question. They said, do I have to use this all as a package? No. You can use pick and choose. If you're using accounting, just tell us that you want to use M3 AccKnowledge. If you want to use the operations management, use that one. If you're teaching only, InnRoad, then use InnRoad. Also, another person asked, they are using Dr. Valens check-in, check-out book. Can InnRoad go with it? Absolutely. It will be great. And in the last 1 minute, a commercial of the M3 Center, which is center, and Katerina was part of the center until last January. But here it is, and then m3center.org is the website. You can also access to these particular software from this particular website too. We have all these webinars already here as well, but feel free to go to this particular website and look what we are doing. We are having guest speaker series. We have quite a few webinars that are going on, which we have today's webinar, but we get on next week, how to get high citations for your research papers. Feel free to join. Again, all of these webinars and the services, majority of the services that we provide from M3 Center are free of charge. With that, I would like to, it's perfect timing. I want to double check if there's any other new questions, but we would like to thank you for your participation. A lot of people attended today. I'm very happy to see this turnaround, and I hope that some of you will adopt. Maybe some of you will view, just look at it to see. But this is a perfect time to look at them for the fall semester. So you can tell us maybe in a month or so, or during the summer, we can set it up and you can be ready. It's really easy. Also, one last thing that I want to say, this is really not easy to find, for example, M3 operations management number. Those hotel numbers are real numbers. I don't know any other way that you can find it except Smith Travel Research, but that's different than what we are talking here. Thank you again. Have a good afternoon, evening, morning, day, depending on where you are. And we hope to see you in one of these conferences around the world. And please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a great day.